Yo, what's up, YouTube? I'm doing this video just to tell you a little bit about myself, who I am, why I do powerlifting, what's a little bit story about myself, like a self-interview, I guess, since I'm not famous, so no one interviews me, but, uh, but basically, I started lifting weights 2009, August 2009. I was 18 years old. I was 160 pounds, benching 125 touch and go, squatting 155. I think deadlifting like 185. I never really deadlifted when I started. I think I pulled 185 and I never tried it again until like a couple years later, like two or something like that. But my options on it, what I think about, like why I did it, Well, when I first started, I wanted to be honest, like Arnold. I wanted to be a bodybuilder, I wanted to have, you know, the chiseled abs, just that kind of look, I guess. I always wanted to be a bodybuilder, looked up to Arnold, and Ronnie Coleman and all that stuff. And I remember when I first started, a couple of guys made fun of how weak I was, thought, jokes, you know how it is, a couple of the football players from my college, stuff like that. And, to be honest, it did hurt, because I couldn't shut them up because I was, So, I basically started powerlifting because I wanted to beat them. I wanted to be stronger than all those guys. I wanted to show them that I can do it. I didn't know what powerlifting was. I had no idea. I didn't know what anything of that was. All I asked the coach was, "What can I do to get stronger?" That's all. I didn't know it was powerlifting. I didn't know anything. I was just trying to get stronger on the bench, squat, and deadlift for some reason. I didn't even know those were powerlifting official moves. Just that's just something I always wanted to be strong at, especially the bench. That was just the main thing. Those guys told me I would never bench press 300 drug free. I did, and I bench over 4 now. That's basically one of the main reasons I did it. At first I wanted to be like the strongest, bodybuilder kind of deal. So I mostly did it because I wanted to beat those guys. They said I couldn't do it, and it was just to prove them wrong at first. And then I just fell in love with the sport. One of the big influence I must say was probably Stan Affordine because I googled strongest pro bodybuilder, because I wanted to be a strong pro body. He popped up, and I seen him, and that's kind of when I started knowing what powerlifting was, and what raw was, and what suits, and I decided to be a raw powerlifter, the raw strength. I used to do 100% raw at first, no belt, no knee wraps, no nothing, 100% raw, no nothing. For those that don't know, that's what I did for a while. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. I just know I wanted to get stronger, and I mostly bench. So at one point I was benching 300, squatting 300, and deadlifting about 300. Sadly, that's what it was. I wanted to get stronger, and I just really wanted to be a great bench. I wanted to be the best bencher in the world. And then as it went on, I didn't know nothing about powerlifting. All I wanted to know that I wanted to be the strongest guy at my gym. I wanted to be the guy that everybody stopped what they were doing just to watch me lift. I wanted to be that guy. I wanted to be the guy that was bending the fucking bar. That's always what I wanted. And ever since I was a little kid, I always wanted to be strong. But never knew what really was until I looked it up. I looked at gear lifting, and it's something that didn't really caught my eye at all. I didn't like it. Nothing about it I like it. I decided, raw is where I wanted to be. So I started 100% raw. Then I added a belt, and then my wrist wraps. Little shit. I hurt my knee squatting 405 for the first time. And I think that's when I started using knee wraps. I said, fuck this. I don't want to get another knee injury. It sucked. I wasn't able to squat for like a month and a half. So started using knee wraps. Never ever again have I had a knee injury. That's one of the main reasons why I love knee wraps, and I always will. I've squatted 615 and no knee injury whatsoever. My belt, I haven't had really any back injuries. Strained backs, straining here and there. Never really wrist problems anymore. I used to have wrist problems all the time. Um, that's kind of just a little bit why I started, and what attracted me. I was never really like big into sports in high school or anything during my teenage years. I was really weak, as you guys know, at 18. But at the beginning of 2012, I think that's when I really, really, really wanted to power lift, and that's when I really had all the knowledge, and not all the knowledge, but I knew what raw powerlifting was. I know about meets. I knew what you need to do to pass a lift. I knew, all that stuff. I knew about chains, bands, boards. That's when I really got knowledgeable out of it. So as you can see, in 2012, I went from 455 squat and deadlift to 615. And I only gained I was like 250. I gained too much weight. And then my bench really skyrocketed up to, my overhead press. I think I was overhead pressing like 185. Towards the very end of the year, I did my best at the end of the last. I think it was like 280. That's what I ended up with. So, big improvements. 100 pounds on overhead press. I think it's fairly a lot. Just those lifts improved a lot. My just basically any lift I had, went up. My back got a lot stronger. My bent over rows. Just everything, my whole body. My triceps, just everything, my core. So powerlifting is going pretty good. The goals for this year is to hit 1700 at a meet. I was hoping by this meet in March, but to be realistically, maybe not. Maybe 1650, like Ernie said, something more realistic. 1700 for the summer, 1750 for the winter. 1750 would probably be a good goal to hit at the end of this year. Hopefully at the beginning of next 1800. I at least want to hit 1900 before I stop being a junior in the junior division. So something I can try. I'm thinking all this drug free as of right now, but things might change. Financially right now I can't afford any of those good drugs. but something I think about. And my goals are really to be not really take anybody's records or this, that. I just want to be the best I can be, the best I can accomplish. I want to push my body to the very limits and see what I can physically do. I don't care about beating anybody. I'm in the 275 junior division. I don't care about beating Stan or Eric or anybody or Constantine. It's none of my goals. I never really, I'm very competitive, but it's just, I like beating normal guys here and there, I guess, no challenge, whatever the hell. But what I really am more about is more about being the strongest version I can be of myself and pushing my body to the very limits that I possibly can do. That's basically it.